It all started the spring I planted my orchard. I'd just moved back to my childhood home in the countryside, and I wanted to restore it. Rows of apple, cherry, and peach trees lined the back of my property, heavy with promise. Neighbors peeked over the fences, whispering to each other. And of course, the HOA noticed. The first letter arrived politely enough. They said my orchard didn't match the neighborhood aesthetic and might attract pests. I ignored it. Then came the HOA president herself, walking up the path with a clipboard and a smirk. "You really think those trees belong here?" she said, nodding toward my blossoming apples. "They're a mess, unkempt, amateurish." I smiled politely. "They'll be fine. Nature tends to do its work." She laughed, loud and sharp. "Nature doesn't care about HOA rules." I said nothing and let her go, knowing she underestimated what I'd planned. The next few weeks were tense. Every HOA board meeting had someone complaining about that ridiculous fruit forest, but nothing ever came of it legally. Meanwhile, my trees flourished. Blossoms turned into fruit, birds came to feed, and the air smelled sweet with promise. Then the summer hit. The HOA decided to launch their own community garden initiative. Rows of raised beds were planted, flowers and vegetables meticulously spaced, watered on schedule, fertilized to perfection. They were proud, everyone was invited, and naturally they came to mock mine. "Look at this chaos," they said, pointing at my orchard. I waved and said, "All in good time." At first, their gardens looked perfect, but within a few weeks things started to go wrong. Plants wilted, pests swarmed, irrigation lines failed. One by one, their crops withered. Tomatoes rotted on the vine, cucumbers shriveled, flowers browned. I watched quietly from my porch, sipping iced tea as the irony unfolded. Neighbors who once mocked me started asking questions. "Why are your trees thriving while ours are dying?" I shrugged, letting the lesson land gently. By late summer, their perfect gardens were a disaster. The HOA tried pesticides, fertilizers, even brought in professional gardeners, but nothing could revive the soil. Meanwhile, my orchard produced a bounty of apples, peaches, and cherries. Birds sang in the branches, bees buzzed lazily, and the scent of ripe fruit drifted across the neighborhood. It wasn't luck, it was respect. For the land, for patience, and for letting nature do what it does best. The irony. They'd mocked the very thing that sustained them. At the next HOA meeting, no one laughed at my orchard anymore. Instead, people were asking for advice. How do you keep them healthy? How often do you water? Do you hire a gardener? I leaned back and smiled quietly. Sometimes you don't need to argue. Sometimes you just grow stronger while others wither. And as the sun set over my thriving orchard, I knew one thing. Mother Nature always pays attention to those who care for her. And for those who try to control her, she has her own way of showing them the consequences.